to another episode of Beyond the Comfort Zone. My name is James English. You've been seeing me by myself the last few weeks. We're going to change that. So by popular demand today, I have a special guest that I will introduce here momentarily. But before we get into that, I just want to say hello. And I hope as you're watching this, you are having a wonderful day. So much to inform you on, so much to talk through today with this special guest. And let's just say she has a lot of say around the building. So with that, I want to introduce to you as the special guest to the podcast today. Drum roll, please. Kristina English. Miss Kristina, how are you today?
I am doing well.
All right. What else besides just well?
I'm just blessed to be here.
Okay. What does that mean?
What does that mean? I am just blessed to be alive. I'm just happy.
Okay. Just happy. Happy is good.
Happy is good.
Relaxed is good. Behind the scenes, Kristina, as you guys have heard me say, has been incredibly supportive, a lot going on in our household, in our lives with our kids. And so we just wanted to bring Kristina by for a quick update. Let's hope this doesn't turn into a marriage seminar. But we definitely, have some things on our heart we want to share with you as well today. So with that, let's jump into it, Kristina. So listen, I think I've mentioned to the audience, some of the things you've been working on professionally, academically, etc. So why don't you give the audience a bit of a kind of update into how things have been going the last few months?
So Friday, I ended my second semester of grad school.
Okay, second semester of grad school. All right. Okay. So give the audience a little bit of perspective. What are you studying?
So I am studying to get a master's in business administration as well as a master's in healthcare administration.
Okay. And for the audience, how many times have you started the process?
I have this is my second time starting the process. Second. It's not the third.
It's not the third?
It's not the third. It's the second.
I thought it was the second since we've been married.
No, I thought about it. Remember, I thought about it.
Oh, that's right.
Well, after we had the first one, and then I decided to wait until everything cooled down and they would be able to be on their own.
Okay. And we've been blessed. So we're very purposeful about living in a community. So one of the things that drove our reasoning for moving back to where we live now, from Kansas City, which we thoroughly enjoyed and lived there for, I think I lived there for 5 years. I think you were there close to 4, was community. And we did that on purpose because, we recognize that raising children by yourself is very difficult. And frankly, I'm not sure it's the way it's supposed to be. We've talked a lot and reflected on how we grew up, I think both of us, and we have vivid memories of there always being extended family, whether it was cousins, whether it was grandparents, someone else around to aid in the help of raising kids. Now, you were an only child, so that's a little bit of a... I'm
kind of not an only child.
Oh, that's
Remember,
right. That's
I do
right.
have
that's
a
right.
sister.
That's right. Kristina does have a half sister who is a huge fan. We're huge fans of, I should say. The girls love her as well. But there's a pretty big age gap.
Yes, I did grow up as an only child, but I do have a half sister.
All right, fantastic. So anyway, so we moved back because of this community, and let's just say it has given us the ability to do things that otherwise we would not be able to do. And one of those things is Kristina going back to school. So you went through it this time. You are finished with your second semester. How are the grades going so far?
Grades are going actually pretty better than even undergrad.
Okay.
To say the least.
Well, why is that? So this is definitely one of the things I wanted to get into with Kristina. Why are grades better? So we've talked a lot about the difference in our academic achievement in undergrad. So tell the audience why are grades better now?
Grades are better now because I'm focused. I guess because I know what I need to do to achieve. I just know what I need to achieve good grades, be a great example for our girls, study hard, and it will show in the end. I don't know. It's just one of those things where the switch finally clicked for me. Undergrad, I partied. I had fun during my undergrad. I enjoyed being with friends. I enjoyed college. When it came to coming into my adulthood, I still wanted to do the things I did when I was in undergrad, but now it has totally changed for me.
Okay. All right. So it took a few decades.
Oh yeah.
For all the pieces to come together. And listen, I get it. I mean, I get it. And we had a talk with one of our daughters earlier today, who had a bump in the road academically recently. And, for those with kids, okay, that there's the conversation before you talk to the kids when something happens. There's the conversation with the kid at the time, everybody present. And then there's the after conversation after the child has left. In the after conversation, we talked about this, the fact that the way she's showing up resembles one of the two of us, the one not talking right now. And because of that, it's almost like you're dealing with the version of yourself and trying to make sure that you rewind the tape to how it was when you were there, instead of just acting out. Why can't they just get? Well, you didn't get it either, and our blood is flowing through their veins. So this clicking of the switch flipping in your mind academically, you started to get a lot stronger. The coursework, you're managing pretty well. I do stay up late some nights. Beginning of the second semester, I had a lot of coursework and I had to finally get that switch clicked again. And I finally had to organize myself in a manner to be able to get everything done in a timely manner. So if that meant staying up a little bit later to get it done, I had to do what I needed to do. Yeah.
And having the support of you as well as the parents being here to help me out has really been tremendous help for us.
Yeah, I agree with that. It takes some patience to go through these periods where your home is stretched. You got kids who are in school and need a lot of attention academically, just help, support. Your spouse is going through academically going through a master's degree, relatively intense program. And then we also have businesses that we are still incubating. They're still young. They're still growing. We're still learning. And so all of that happening at the same time has really created challenges for us that I think it's taken some time to figure out how everything works. Mm-hmm. And so, man, I don't know that I would wish it on everybody because it is stressful. And I do want to ask you specifically in a second, a question about support and what support feels like right now. But man, I mean, to have all three of those things happening at the same time, in addition to other things that we're trying to deal with, I mean, it can very easily lead to imbalance. So for the ladies in the room, Kristina, talk about the type of support you're feeling right now that has allowed you to press on.
So the type of support that I'm feeling, it's just one of those things of, I had to learn how to just let it go. I am a person that likes to do everything on my own. If a kid needs something, I'm the one jumping in to do it. If my mom needs something, I'm the one jumping in because I am her only child to do it. So I had to let go and let others help out. Having my husband, the family secret is he cooks. So having, support with that, because, working 8 to 4:30 and then coming home, needing to cook, getting the girls together, getting homework done, getting everybody in bed at a reasonable time what has been hard. But if I did not have that support, I don't think those things would have been accomplished.
Yeah, I get it. And it does help that communication.
Yes, communication is a big key.
Is key because so much can get lost with the ships passing in the night, if you know what I mean. So communication is key. And we've been tested there. I mean, there have been a lot of, I thought I told you, no, you didn't tell me. Well, okay, so what are we going to, okay, why aren't you there? Who's doing this? Who's picking up that? And unless you are willing to put put yourself aside a little bit, right? Yeah. And recognize that it's not going to be perfect right now. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of details that get messed up or left or misunderstood. And so you just have to let that thing go, man, and recognize that, we got to keep the long game here in mind, right? We got kids to raise. We got degrees to finish up. We got businesses to continue to grow. And plus, we want to do more. I mean, this is just for us. You and I have talked about where we want to go, what we want our family legacy to be, in terms of just, obviously sound relationships, spiritual strength in the household, and a legacy of giving where we can. Right. And so for us, all of these things are just the foundation to what we really want to do. And so this is not the starting point, this isn't the end game. This is truly for us a starting point. And if we believe that, we got to recognize that it's going to be some stuff that happens and we just have to stay committed to it. Yeah. You agree with that?
I totally agree.
Yeah. So, one of the other things, going on with Kristina is her career is advancing as well. Now, I don't want to get into specifics on that, but, we were very, the first part of our marriage, we were very focused on my career. We talked about it before we even got married. And we said, look, get married, we'll do the best we can do. I'll focus on advancing my career. And then, at that time, Chris was focused on other things. We eventually had kids and then all that. Right. And so, but I always knew that at some point, Chris would go through a phase or a step where she wanted to grow. And that happened probably 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
3 years ago when, she had a great work from home opportunity and it allowed us to live in KC for a while. Then when we came back, it allowed us to get stable here. And then she came one day and said, hey, James, man, I really want to, I think I want to go back to the office. I think I want to go back and work at a facility where I could be around people. Now, if you cannot tell, we are opposites. Okay. I am the introvert. I am the person who loves to be alone, which actually does help with all the busyness because I don't bother her very much. She knows that. And she is the opposite. She is the social butterfly. She is the person that, loves being around other people. And so I wasn't totally surprised when she came and said, hey, James, I want to go back. It sounded like she was tired of working at home with me. And so she was ready for, hey, it's okay. And she was ready for some different stimulus. It's like, all right, great. So I always tell her and you tell the audience if I'm lying here. I've always told her whenever she's come and said, James, I want to make this change. I said, I have no problem at all. As long as it fits and as long as we can make it work, I'm going to be supportive. Isn't that right?
That is correct.
Okay. And so the opportunity ended up coming through and she's been working outside the home now for the last few years. And as a result, her career's blossomed. And as you can see, even as you've heard her talk about her academic pursuits, right? It's all kind of this snowball where 10, 15 years, well, we're celebrating 15 years of marriage this year. But a while ago, she would not have had that drive and desire.
No.
Yeah, right. It wouldn't have been there. So that's great, man. And so add another kind of pebble into the bowl, so you can see how full the bowl is. So one of the questions we get often when people, kind of pick through what we're doing is, how in the world did you guys stay connected? How do you stay connected? What do you say to that, Kristina?
How do we stay connected? So with travel, with everything going on in the world, it has been, if we can't talk on the phone, it's been through text. It's been through, and I know this sounds crazy, it's been through prayer, a lot of it. That's just the way we are. It's one of those things, like James said, 15 years in to this game, and we have grown so much. We're not fully there yet, but communication has been the very much key to it all, for the connection piece.
Yeah, I agree with that. Part of the business side of it is constant travel. I mean, I'm on the road quite a bit, more now than ever. A lot of these trips can be like very short notice. Mm-hmm. So there's almost a constant preparation for her to be alone or one man down in the home, in order to continue to keep things normal for our girls, keep things normal just overall in the house. And so that's where that community comes in. But I will say this, it has taken brutal honesty and transparency with one another in order to stay connected, because when you're disconnected, or when you're away from each other, and especially sometimes I'm gone for 3 weeks plus, right? And I'm on the other side of the world. We got different time zones. We have different sleep patterns, different work patterns, right? I mean, you may not talk for a few days, mm-hmm. Other than a text message here or there when either she's waking up and I'm going to sleep, or vice versa. And so if you don't have a foundation of communication, then, it all falls apart. And then there's an accountability aspect there where, we have to make sure that we're doing our part. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure that we're not falling into the well of selfishness, and just self-centeredness is probably the better terminology. And it's so easy to do that because we have so much going on.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely true.
Yeah. So it has taken hard work. It has taken, we've had some bumps in the road for sure. But at the same time, I mean, through that all, it has honestly made us better. So outside of connection, Chris, what are your favorite things for us to do to stay connected?
Some of our favorite things for us to do to stay connected. When you're in town, I enjoy just spending time with you. I know we love traveling together, but just something that's more local, bowling is always one of those things. For those of you that don't know, I've been bowling since I was 8 years old. I have loved it ever since I started with my father. When I met James, did not know he was a bowler, I think, until we joined a league together.
No, our first date?
No.
Second date? No.
Oh, it was a first date. That was the impromptu date.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Was it an impromptu date? Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's when I met everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's not go there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you knew early on.
Well, I knew early on, but you didn't bring out like bowling shoes and bowling balls and all that stuff with you. Yeah. So I didn't learn about that piece until later in life.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge risk. Going into an early date with bowling shoes and bowling. Yeah, that's not the way to win and secure favor in a relationship. So, it's still too early for that. I admit that, but we both learned that evening that bowling was a big part. She shared with me she got a scholarship to school and all that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so bowling is one of our favorite things to do together. Kristina has bowled more consistently than I have. So you talk about compromise, right? So one of the things that we've done is, and I want to circle back around to this, but Kristina bowls in a league, like 1.5 leagues, right? Basically. So Sunday nights and sometimes Monday nights, she will go out bowling. And again, another pebble into the very busy bowl of the English family. But I would have loved to go, but our kids, somebody had to stay home with the kids because it starts late, ends late. And so by the time she's done, the kids are normally in bed. Frankly, I am also mostly asleep. Mm-hmm. And so, but I insisted that we both, or she, have hobbies. You know, one of the things that I know is a requirement when there's a lot of pressure are hobbies. And so we pride ourselves on making sure that even as adults, we have hobbies. And here's the kicker. It's her hobby, not our hobby. And so that's important because it's not all about us. She needs time for her. She needs to go out and have an identity. She needs to go out and talk some smack at the bowling alley. She needs to go do what she does. And she doesn't always need me there. And I'm fine. Again, guys, I'm good with that. She knows that. And so even when she's like, James, can you come and watch me? Nope, I'm not coming. And she knows. She keeps asking, and I keep giving her the same answer because it's important to me that she has an identity, that she has something where she can go and she can do what she does. And so that's her hobby of choice. Mine has bounced around a little bit. So right now we're probably in a little bit of a dry spell, but we're working on it.
Yeah, I know. I can remember how many years ago was that? We were in Kansas City. That's when you posed the question of you need to find a hobby, because I think it was right after COVID, maybe sometime after that we posed that question to each other that we needed to find a hobby.
Yeah, I was traveling a lot, and it was clear that, and I know a lot of women face this. It's clear that the weight of motherhood, being a professional, keeping a home, dealing with, parents, aging parents, it can become a lot. So if that's all you wake up to every day, it's not going to be very fun.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. So that hobby conversation, I've had that conversation with a number of people, and I ask if I run into, women that are friends of ours or that we end up in conversation with, I always ask, hey, what's your hobby? What's your thing? Right. I'm not talking about shopping. I'm not talking, I don't know, what's your thing? What gets you out there exercising, burning some energy, having a little bit of fun. You got to have something. And so that has been, I think, consistent thing in our conversation. So other than bowling, Chris, what is it?
For me?
Yeah. What are your favorite things to do?
I think bowling is the only thing. If it's something that I have to do alone without everybody around, bowling is that thing for me. I have started to do a little bit more working out, and trying to get myself back together physically.
Yeah.
And I think with writing has been another thing I have been enjoying.
Yeah. Kristina has a very rich friendship group, sorority life that she engages in from time to time. Too. Okay. Yes. I have to be the reminder on this one.
I have those too. Yep. I enjoy going and traveling with my friends whenever we can.
Yes. There's multiple girl trips per year. Again, you gotta endure certain things, right? Ask if there's multiple men's trips per year. No, there are not. But there are definitely multiple girlfriend trips a year.
But granted, hey, it's multiple girl trips per year because we don't live in the same area.
I understand. It wouldn't matter. You guys, the places you go, you would go anyways, even if you all lived in the same place. So it's, you can use that as an excuse, but I assure you there's another part to this. All right. So, Chris, it's been a year and a half now since we've had our businesses going. Mm-hmm. This channel is just over a year old. You heard me last week post a video that came out of some conversations you and I had about how busy life was, how busy I was, the cost of growth of a company, mm-hmm. Can be heavy. And, I've had to grow up to really embrace the day-to-day, process of having that, for that to be, our breadwinner right now. And for us to effectively start from scratch and build has been a journey. Tell the audience what that journey briefly has been like for you.
For me, the journey has been tedious. It's a lot of support. I know I don't work in the field every day. I am the support, the backbone, the semi-secretary at times, and I see him going through it. And I just always want to be that person that's always there for him. No matter what, whether it's to talk to, I may not be able to solve any of the problems that they have, but even listening to what they have going on, for him to voice those opinions and those problems, to me, have been great. I think it's just been a lot going on, and I'm proud of Mr. English over here for doing this, because this is something that has been a goal of his for years since we've been married, is to have his own company. It does come with your own ups and downs, and we knew that was going to happen from the beginning. So, it's just one of those things of, you can't plan for up and down. You just have to roll with the punches.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I've been very mindful of, and I've told myself this early, or I should say I had this realization early, is, the ups and downs of running a business, starting a business, can really create emotional turmoil mm-hmm. that affects your relationships. The frustration of a day can really change the tone in which you speak, or the way in which you deal with something very simple. And it's, I had to really sit and understand it. And, what I got from that was, it's because it's really, you're really connected to it. Mm-hmm. It's no longer someone else's company that you work for. It's now something that you are, like, growing and incubating, and it just brings out another part of you that you didn't even know existed. And so, but as Kristina said, she has been solid in terms of making sure that I don't have to worry too much about coming home to a volatile situation. There are some things, of course, I wish were better. She knows what those are. But outside of that, I know that I can pack up and leave on a moment's notice, and know that I'm going to have support. And this is probably one of the most difficult things, is financially, when I come to her and it's like, hey, Chris, I felt compelled to start a YouTube channel. What are you talking about, James? Well, I felt compelled to start a YouTube channel. I don't know why, but I just felt a really strong urge to do that. So this is what I'm thinking. We're going to do that. And she's like, okay, James, I trust you, I got your back, whatever. So we spend a lot of money at a time when money was tighter, on the channel. And I've continued to spend money, to make sure that the quality is good, the product is good. And, every single step of the way, she has been there to support. And the video I posted last week, came out of, a moment where we were talking, And I had a rough week. We have some clients right now that are going through some incredibly difficult times. And my company is stepping up in order to help them. And so I'm plopped in the bed. I'm exhausted. Pretty much a 6.5 day a week job now. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I have to change something, do something different, give something up. And I was like, hey, maybe the channel is it. Maybe I put that on ice for a while, and just and so we talked about it, and I posted a video about it because it was an honest moment. Tell the audience what your thought was about that video. I know we talked about it briefly, so just tell the audience what your thought was on that.
It's about quitting. So whenever I saw the video, because I am the person that watches probably every single one of them, and it's hard to watch in the background.
Yeah.
Hey, I try and do it when I'm coming home from work. But when I saw the video, I knew that I didn't know he was going to post something, but I knew he was going to he has been going through some terrible times with everything that was going on. And it was just heavy on him. And I think I told you, if I remember correctly, that this is something that you enjoy. This is your hobby, one of the hobbies that you have, and you actually enjoy doing these videos. We have the equipment, we have everything for them, and that doesn't matter the amount of money that we spend on this stuff, but it's the joy that it brings to you and our family. The girls have always wanted to come on with Daddy, as well as you enjoy having that time, the fellas time with the podcast with you and Garen, as well as expanding it abroad to all of our other friends. So I was a little bit shocked whenever I saw that you wanted to quit it, but for some odd reason inside, I knew that internally that it was going to still be here, because this is you. This is something that the both of us kind of did together to help build, whether it was you up front, me in the background doing the websites and stuff like that.
Yep.
This is something that we ultimately poured a lot of our heart into.
Yeah, we did. But I think for me, the story behind this was the willingness to do whatever it took to keep the house in balance.
Yeah.
And not ever prioritizing a goal or a ambition over our mental health, physical health, spiritual health. And thank goodness I did get feedback almost immediately and you watch the video to find out the story, but the confirmation from, I believe that came from God through a person to say, no. I'm not asking you to give up. Like, just keep, James, just keep going, man. Like, look at where you were, look at where you are. And this medium has helped you get there. It's helped you grow. It's helped you be much more energetic, much more personable. I'm still awkward as anything, but looking for conversations to have. And that means a lot. And so I am, I'm pretty committed to that journey. I'm committed to continuing to grow in this way. And if this is the medium that allows me to do that, then great. I said in the video, the exact message that I felt I received when we started this was, James, get comfortable in front of a camera. Just get comfortable in front of a camera. Chris will tell you, I'm not the social media guy. I do not enjoy taking pictures. But for whatever reason, this message sounded very clear. So I responded, and here we are. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. I love the audio, visual, and the technical side of it, as well as, just the ability to talk, just the ability to kind of unwind in this natural way. I was raised a conversationalist.
You have, yes.
So
I learned that from a very early stage in our family.
Yeah, I was raised a conversationalist. So with that, I love a good conversation. It's one of my favorite hobbies and pastimes. So, this gives me an opportunity to do that in a really healthy way. And I thoroughly enjoy that. All right. So Chris, let's move towards wrapping up here with this update. And again, thank you for coming on today. Hopefully this won't be the last time you're on. What are you looking forward to the rest of this year?
Rest of this year, I am looking forward to completing semesters 3 and 4. I am looking forward to having some. I think I really want us to have a chance to, it may not need to be a far place, but travel between the two of us. That's what I really want to do. We had a cruise plan, but we don't need a cruise to go anywhere. I just have some vacation time so he can rest his brain. And I cannot have classwork to do, but I ultimately want him to have some time to rest and relax and just get away for a little bit. He went out to an event a couple of days ago, and I haven't seen that smile in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So I want to get Mr. English over here back to the point of where he can smile and not be as stressed as he has been. He has been a lot more on the stressful side I've seen before. But I think with, owning the business and things that have been going on, I just want to see that smile again.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did not tell my hobbies. And it's because I don't get to do these a lot now. But it doesn't mean I'm still not interested. So cars, oh man, cars have been a second wife in many ways in our relationship. Is that a fair statement?
That is a fair statement.
And so I've always been a car lover, a car guy. Spent way too much on it in the past, if I'm honest. And so through that journey, I've had an opportunity to meet a ton of people, and so And actually, Mr. Sprav, co-host of the show, blew up my spot a little bit when he posted a video. We went to an event this week that I was invited to by a friend who had a connection that got us in, that got me into a Ferrari of North America test event where they invited some people to come and drive one of their new cars that is about to be released. And one of the things I'd always told Kristina is I would love to do like a track day, learn how to drive. We're big Formula One fans, and just I enjoy kind of understanding how that all works and how to get the most out of a car. But I never really had that experience. And so in the middle of a tough week, man, in the middle of a tough month plus really, I got this opportunity and I was so looking forward to it. And the morning of the event was probably the most difficult morning I've had of the last month. I went, I was committed to going, looking forward to it. I went, time of my life, the absolute time of my life. And Chris wasn't able to go. So Garen went with me, and he got some opportunities as well. I think his life has changed, if I were to guess. And so those moments, man, it wasn't a long time by the clock hours, time where we weren't there for days, right? It was just a few hours in an afternoon. But I recognize how close I am to joy because it doesn't take much, which means I'm ready for it. So I'm with you. We are in a season of investment right now. So we are investing in everything. We have a lot of things financially, obligations and staff and buildings and things that we're accountable for. We're getting ready to move to a bigger location in our India office in faith. So, there's so much happening. And to make sure you're finding that joy and balance is so important. And so I need to do a better job. I've been very focused on her, but I do need to do a better job, and I recognize I do. I need to finish my pilot training, which I've been trying to do for years. I enjoy flying so much. I need to get that done. And I've given in. The car thing is a thing. So, where I can, how I can, participate in those type of events, I'll do that as, resources and time permits. We bowl together sometimes too, again, building the bond between us. And so there's a lot that goes into it, but it's what an active household looks like in 2026 with two working parents, entrepreneur and a corporate parent, two kids living in a community with people around to support every step of the way, with good friends around too, both locally and away, that are an incredibly important part of our lives. And, from Uncle George on the West Coast to the Franklins on the West Coast, all the way to the Sprobs and the Walters and all of your friends in between, and the Maycocks up in Ohio, and, all the people around our world and universe, both close and distant, that have made a difference is huge, man. And so we are truly, truly blessed. We can sit here smiling not because everything is perfect, but because we have a good foundation. We have a good friendship and relationship. We've got great kids for the most part. We've got a great support system. So, for those of you that are, going through your own set of stuff, we're not an example. I would never say we're an example, but I'm just here to tell you we can do it. It can be done. We're living proof of that. And while you don't see everything through the camera, trust me, right? There's chaos happening all around us, but that never stopped us from finding the moments to get some joy and to live life. And, whether that's your wife now coming into her own and professionally and academically to finish off things that she started, or whether we had a, desire to start a business, and then it's 2 and 3 businesses that are all kind of doing their thing. Again, these are things we would never have guessed. They were not on our bingo card 5 years ago. They weren't on our bingo card 3 years ago. So the fact that we're here now is a huge testament to just, who we've been able to become together. And I think that's incredibly powerful and important. So any final words, Chris, for the audience?
I just say in any relationship, communication is the key. Whether you're going back to school, wanting to go back to school, tackling work responsibilities, always remember communication is the key. As James has said, I struggled with it in the beginning of our relationship, and I feel that it's getting better. But I think I contribute mine to the only child thing.
It's an excuse. It is an excuse. All right. Well, thank you, audience. Thank you so much for sitting in on a quick conversation with Kristina. And actually, I don't think it was quick. We went quite a long time, but on a conversation with Chris and myself. Once again, my name is James English. This is the Growth Mindset Network that we co-own, and this show is Beyond the Comfort Zone. Thank you very much for listening, for partnering with us. We welcome your comments, your feedback, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon. Have a wonderful day.